I was finally able to piece together a Yakima roof rack for the 2011 to 2016 Scion tC. I'll have detailed info in the video description below with links for all the parts you need. This is the Q99 clip for the front, and this is the slightly longer Q128 clip for the rear. I also picked up some 48-inch crossbars, which are shorter than what Yakima suggests, but I didn't want them sticking out far past the edge of the roof. You're going to want to get a new set of end caps because the old ones will most likely have been pried off, although there's still one on here, but they have to be removed in order for the end of the crossbar to fit through here, and that usually ends up with them broken. I also highly recommend picking up SKS lock cores if you haven't already. Installing a lock core is easy. The cam cover will pop open like this. Take the lock core with the key inserted, look at the indentation here, line it up with the back of the core, and pop it into place. Do a quick lock and unlock test, then pull the key out. Now, if you need to remove the lock, just take the blank key, insert it, then pull it straight up and out. In order to attach the crossbars, we have to completely unscrew the adjustment post. And now we can remove the cam cover and clip holder assembly. The clip used to have a vinyl pad that wrapped around the bottom edge. It was basically a sticker that was way too thin. I replaced it with some thick rubber electrical tape to better protect my car's paint. With the cover and clip holder off, we can see how the lock housing keeps the clip in place. If you need to remove the clip, take a flathead screwdriver and pop the clip fastener off. Then push the lock housing out the back and slide the clip down and off. Reverse the process to reassemble. Make sure the clip slides into those two slots. Then take the lock housing and line this part up with the notch on the clip holder. Flip it around, and then take the clip fastener and slide it back down into place. With the clip holder off, we can now open the tower to get to this hex socket screw. This is what's used to secure the crossbar in place. Assemble the crossbars and towers on a flat surface. For the front rack, the measurement from here to here is 42 inches, and for the rear, from here to here is 42 3/4 inches. Once everything's in place, use the hex key to tighten down the screw while pressing down on the middle of the crossbar. With the crossbar secured, line up the end caps so the logo is straight, then use a rubber mallet to hammer them into place. Since I'm using the shorter 48-inch bars, I won't be able to open the cover without prying the end caps off. If that's going to be an issue, then get the standard 58-inch long bars. I cleaned my roof and I have both racks in position with the clip holder still off. The front rack will have more bars sticking out the side when compared to the rear one. If you're using the standard 58-inch bar, it'll be harder to tell which one is which, so you'll want to mark them. You can see how nice and flush both racks sit on the roof, especially when compared to a universal setup. To properly position the front rack, you want to make sure it's 4 inches from the corner of the roof glass to the front edge of the tower base. The rear rack should be positioned so that the distance from the middle of the rear crossbar to the middle of the front crossbar is 21 inches. While being careful not to move the roof racks, loosely reattach the clip holders. The shorter Q99 clip will go in the front towers. Hold the clip against the door frame and tighten the adjustment post to remove the excess slack. You want to make sure that it's loose enough that you can still close the cover, but tight enough that the clip is held against the door frame. Once you've achieved this, leave the cover open and repeat the process on the other 3 towers. Now we can start securing the towers, starting with the front one. Hold the base in place while using your thumb to keep the clip in position. Tighten the adjustment post 1 turn, then use your other thumb to pull the cover about halfway down until it's under tension. While continuing to hold the base in place, use both thumbs to push the cover the rest of the way down. Repeat the same steps on the other side. You may need to open the cover and repeat this process until the tension is the same on both sides. Once the front rack is secured, do the same thing for the rear one. Something to note is the manual I was looking at mentioned some hash marks, but I didn't see any markings on my towers. I did find out that Yakima revised their towers and I have the newer set, so the hash marks may be referring to the version 1 towers. The clip should be nice and flush to the door frame like this. Notice the rubber electrical tape that I have in place. Now for the safety check. Make sure your doors are open and then pull hard on each clip twice. They might move slightly after the first pull, but shouldn't move after that. Also, grab the bars and push and pull them to check for movement. If the racks aren't secure, repeat the tower securing process. That just about finishes the install. Now to lock the towers. the clip is thin enough that it doesn't damage the rubber door seal. And now the question everyone asks me, can you open the moonroof with the roof rack installed? And the answer is, yes. Just be careful when installing accessories in the middle section of the rear crossbar, as it may get in the way of the moonroof. So this is definitely louder than my universal roof rack, but that had aerodynamic crossbars, and these are just round bars, so that was to be expected. Now, around 45 miles an hour is when you start to hear the noise over that front bar, and it's kind of a low howl, but it's not very consistent. Around 60, 65 miles an hour, it gets to be a consistent, steady noise over that front. And while it's not as loud as I thought it was going to be, it's still quite annoying. So I'm going to see about getting a fairing and installing it on there and seeing how well that reduces that noise. It's been 3 months since the original install footage. I did end up getting the Yakima fairing, though it wasn't cheap, but it delivers what it promises, and I really like how it looked on other cars. I'll do a separate video review for it. Now, if you're wondering, it is Halloween, so I took advantage of the roof rack to mount a pair of swivel gun props that I made to go with my pirate theme. Anyway, please check out the video description below for more detailed info on all the parts that you'll need to piece together for your own Yakima roof rack. If you haven't hit subscribe to my channel yet, please do so now, and as always, thank you for watching.